In a shocking display of arrogance, Officer Daniel Harper targeted Judge Amar Thompson with relentless harassment, unaware that his actions would spark a $30 million lawsuit that dismantled his career and exposed systemic flaws in law enforcement accountability. Daniel Harper had served with the Chicago Police Department for 15 years, earning a reputation as a tough, no-nonsense officer in the violent crime unit. At 42, he prided himself on his ability to maintain order in high-risk neighborhoods, often boasting about his arrests at department gatherings. His record included 200 felony apprehensions, though internal reviews flagged several complaints for excessive force, most of which were dismissed due to lack of evidence or witness cooperation. Harper viewed himself as untouchable, backed by a strong union and a culture that rarely disciplined its own. Judge Amar Thompson, 48, was a respected figure in the Cook County Circuit Court, known for her fair rulings and commitment to judicial reform. A graduate of Howard University Law School, she had risen through the ranks as a public defender before her appointment to the bench in 2018. Thompson presided over high-profile cases, including gang-related homicides, and was a vocal advocate for addressing racial disparities in sentencing. Her reputation earned her both admiration and enemies, particularly among officers who felt her rulings were too lenient. The conflict began in June 2023 during a routine traffic stop in Chicago's South Side. Thompson was driving home from a late court session when Harper pulled her over for a broken taillight. Body camera footage later showed Harper approaching her vehicle with an aggressive tone, demanding her license and registration without explaining the stop. Thompson, identifying herself as a judge, complied but questioned the necessity of the stop, noting the minor infraction. Harper responded dismissively, "I don't care who you are. Step out of the car." Thompson remained calm, citing her rights and requesting a supervisor. Harper, visibly irritated, accused her of resisting and ordered her to exit the vehicle again. When she refused, citing protocol, he forcibly opened her door and attempted to pull her out. Thompson activated her phone's recording app, capturing Harper's escalating verbal abuse, including racial slurs and threats to arrest her for obstruction. A supervisor arrived, de-escalated, and let Thompson go with a warning, but the encounter left her shaken. Harper's harassment didn't end there. Over the next 3 months, he targeted Thompson repeatedly. He stationed his patrol car near her courthouse, issuing her multiple citations for minor violations like parking meter overages or alleged speeding. Court records later documented 7 such tickets between July and September 2023, all dismissed by other judges for lack of merit. Thompson reported the incidents to the police department's Internal Affairs Division, but her complaints were initially ignored, with one officer suggesting she was overreacting. In October 2023, the situation escalated. Harper appeared at a community event where Thompson was speaking on judicial fairness. He heckled her from the crowd, questioning her impartiality and implying she favored defendants based on race. Witnesses recorded his outbursts, which went viral on social media, drawing attention from local news outlets. The Chicago Tribune published an article detailing Thompson's allegations, prompting public outcry and calls for investigation. Thompson, advised by her attorney, filed a federal lawsuit against Harper, the Chicago Police Department, and the city in November 2023, seeking $30 million in damages for harassment, racial discrimination, and emotional distress. The complaint alleged that Harper's actions violated her civil rights under the 4th and 14th Amendments, and that the department failed to supervise or discipline him. It cited body camera footage, Thompson's phone recordings, and witness testimonies as evidence. The lawsuit gained traction quickly. Civil rights organizations rallied behind Thompson, organizing protests outside police headquarters. The ACLU provided legal support, arguing the case highlighted systemic issues of racial bias in policing. Discovery revealed Harper's history of complaints. 15 prior allegations of misconduct, including 3 involving racial slurs, none resulting in significant discipline. Internal emails showed supervisors had warned Harper about behavior, but no action was taken. Harper's defense team argued he was simply enforcing the law, and that Thompson exaggerated the incidents to damage his reputation. They claimed her status as a judge made her hypersensitive to routine policing. However, the body camera footage contradicted their narrative. showing Harper's aggressive demeanor and use of derogatory language. A deposition revealed Harper's belief that Thompson's rulings undermined law enforcement, fueling his personal vendetta. The trial began in March 2024 in federal court. Thompson testified about the emotional toll of the harassment, including sleepless nights and heightened anxiety. She presented evidence of Harper's targeted citations, supported by GPS data, showing his patrol car near her home and workplace unusually often. Expert witnesses, including a criminologist, testified that Harper's actions fit a pattern of racial profiling seen in urban departments. Harper took the stand, admitting to the citations but denying racial motivation. Under cross-examination, he struggled to explain the slurs captured on audio, claiming stress from a high-crime beat. The jury, composed of diverse Chicago residents, deliberated for 5 days. On April 10, 2024, they awarded Thompson $25 million in compensatory and punitive damages, finding Harper and the city liable. The verdict included a $5 million personal judgment against Harper, a rare outcome signaling his direct responsibility. The fallout was immediate. The Chicago Police Department fired Harper, citing conduct unbecoming an officer. The city council allocated funds to settle the judgment, sparking debates over police reform. Harper appealed, but the Seventh Circuit upheld the verdict in August 2024, citing overwhelming evidence. His personal finances collapsed under the $5 million obligation, leading to bankruptcy. Thompson used part of the settlement to fund a legal aid clinic for victims of police misconduct. She continued her judicial work, earning a national award for courage in 2025. The case spurred Chicago to implement mandatory bias training and stricter oversight of officer complaints. Harper, disgraced, left the city and faded from public view. The story of Thompson's resilience and Harper's downfall became a landmark case, referenced in law schools and reform discussions. It underscored the power of accountability and the consequences of unchecked entitlement in law enforcement. Daniel Harper's career began in 2008 after graduating from the police academy with average marks. He joined the Violent Crime Unit in 2012, where his aggressive tactics led to a high arrest rate, but also drew scrutiny. Complaints from 2014 to 2020 included allegations of excessive force during arrests, with one case involving a black teenager who suffered a broken arm. The department settled that case for $50,000 but did not discipline Harper. Amara Thompson's path to the bench was marked by academic excellence. She graduated top of her class at Howard, clerked for a federal judge, and worked as a public defender for 12 years. Her appointment to the circuit court followed a unanimous recommendation from the Judicial Selection Committee. Her rulings emphasized rehabilitation over harsh sentencing, which some officers viewed as soft on crime. The initial traffic stop occurred at 10:15 p.m. on June 12, 2023, at 63rd Street in Cottage Grove. Harper's body camera captured his demand for Thompson to exit without stating probable cause. Thompson's phone recording, submitted as evidence, included Harper saying, "You think you're above the law, don't you?" followed by a racial epithet. Subsequent citations included one for parking 10 minutes past meter expiration and another for speeding at 37 miles per hour in a 35 miles per hour zone. Each ticket was issued within a mile of the courthouse, with timestamps showing Harper's presence during Thompson's work hours. The community event on October 5, 2023, was hosted by a local NAACP chapter. Harper's heckling included shouting, "How many gangbangers you letting off today?" A video uploaded to X amassed 2 million views within 24 hours. Thompson's lawsuit, filed on November 15, 2023, named Harper, Police Superintendent James Carter, and the City of Chicago as defendants. It cited 42 U.S.C. Section 1983 for civil rights violations and included counts of intentional infliction of emotional distress. Discovery produced 1,500 pages of documents, including Harper's personnel file and internal affairs reports. A 2021 email from a lieutenant advised Harper to tone down his interactions with minority civilians, which he ignored. The trial lasted 15 days. Thompson's testimony detailed her fear of retaliation and the need to hire private security. A psychologist testified she exhibited symptoms of PTSD. Harper's attorney argued the citations were routine, but GPS logs showed a patrol car lingered near Thompson's home 12 times in August 2023. Harper's deposition lasted 6 hours, with contradictions in his account of the stop. The jury awarded $15 million in compensatory damages for emotional harm and $10 million in punitive damages to deter future misconduct. Harper's personal liabilities stem from his intentional actions outside department protocol. Post-verdict, Harper was suspended without pay on April 12, 2024, and terminated after a disciplinary hearing on May 1st. The city paid $20 million, with Harper responsible for the remainder. His appeal claimed judicial bias, but the court found no errors. Thompson's Clinic, launched in January 2025, provided pro bono representation to 200 clients in its first year. She received the National Bar Association's Courage Award in July 2025.